Making film for YouTube is great. I love it. I've been making quite a few films too for quite some time, even though I've taken down most of them. I still have a plan for perhaps making a playlist, like from the archives. I still have the first video I uploaded to the interwebs. Gee, look at that quality. I mean, I bet my old Nokia from when I was 12 could do a better job than this. So quite a few films have been made, and some weren't even that bad. Kind of depends on how you look at it. Anyway, time goes by, and you start having kids, and not only one of these little complaining little buggers, but two, unless one of my exes has a surprise in store for me. But no, I'm just joking. I love my kids. But then you have all the shit that needs to be done around the house. Paint this, fix that. And I haven't even started to talk about my daily job. And if that isn't enough, your body starts breaking down. Herniated disc in lower back, worn out knees, hurting here, hurting there. The list goes on. And how am I supposed to film all my escapades in between all of this? Heck, I can hardly do just photography in between all of it, let alone film it. But I do my best, because it's what I love. So, sit back, find some snacks, cup of coffee, enjoy this misery. Life. It has a tendency to creep up upon all of us. A never-ending river of things we need to do, at home and at work. You need to be a good, loving and supporting parent and partner. You also need to be good, loving, supporting towards yourself too. Otherwise, your mental and physical health will start to rapidly decline. And you will be burning the candle in both ends. You need to get off the freaking hamster wheel and embrace your inner child. Go out and find adventure, even when it starts to rain. I'm trying to come up with something clever to say. It's not working. I wonder I guess not. Well, we meet again. On my way up, I suddenly noticed something orange down in this gully. I was so distracted, I forgot to refocus the camera. I wonder. That's all I do. I wonder. Not sure if you're able to see this, but I think that's an orange. Well, not an orange, a mandarin. Walking down this might be not the smartest thing I've done in a while, but it's doable. Okay. You lay right there. Be still. You might wonder why I'm risking life and limbs for a clementine, but this is adventure for me. The thrill of doing things that nobody else would. This would have been so much better if I filmed it from the top. Look at this angle. I mean, that's how steep this is. Like, oh. No wait. I'm taking it with me. I think this might still be edible. How's the fun part? I think I'm gonna take this way. No, not doing that. This is perhaps one of these ideas that I have every once in a while, which turns out very badly. Like the one time I got picked up with an ambulance. That's a story I am saving. Like, there's a reason why this is here. But that's a story for another time. I'm saving that one because that's a bit of a sweaty enough. It's a touchy subject for me. So anyway, got my, what do they even call this in English? Mandarin orange. I've heard somebody say mandarin orange. We say clementine. Clementine? I have no idea. Still, find room for it in my backpack. Put it in here, perhaps. Now I've got lunch. The last time I went up here, Amy, and if you're watching, commented on my pronunciation of the name of that tree, beak. That's the only thing I've ever heard, beak. So I need to Google this. Oxford Languages. Beach. Beach. Beach is sometimes confused with beach. So that's one of the English words which is like right. If it's right or if it's something that's right. Beach. Beach, not beak. Beach. Beach. Okay, fair enough, Amy. You win. Oh, I'm so sweaty. Walking no more than 10 steps further and I came to this myriad of tree roots. And every time I hike past this point, I tell myself that I need to photograph this one day. So I went to work on finding a composition, looking for leading lines, elements, checking my corners, finding harmony and balance. And then put my immune system to the test. Testing, testing. Welcome to whatever this is. I'm not really sure. Well, what I can tell you is that initially I wanted to visit some huge boulders which had some amazing light the last time. And I really just couldn't get them off my mind, to be honest. And I wanted to visit them today and see if I could get some angles and perhaps return and take a good photo of them. That seems to have taken a turn for something else now. Once I've recently discovered this huge spruce tree with these roots that are absolutely everywhere. Not saying that I won't be visiting those boulders, but this is a shot that requires very, very good light to have. It requires quite a dynamic light, to be honest, and a very directional light too. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to take both of these shots at the same day, at the same time. I might take this first and then come back to the other one at a later time. The thing is, to be honest, I'm not really sure how the light travels here. The sun is right there right now, and I needed to like sink really low there, and I'm not even sure if this is even possible here, if the light will ever become the way that I want it to become. But there's only one way to find out. Man, how was the good mandarin orange? Was that what we agreed on? So yeah, I'm quite early. It is 2:30, and I think I need to get back here when it's more like, I don't know, 6 or 7 perhaps. And that's not gonna happen today. I think I have to come back and take this photo later and then scout the other location later, because looking at the time, there's not more time for me left to be doing anything today. So I think this is as far as I get today. This is not scripted. I'm going to show you a little clip from my phone to let you in on what happened.
Det var en rot der, så jeg sklei som tusen på. Nei, plutselig så bare... Nei, men takk.
When I fell, I landed on my elbow right here. And I had a full backpack on, which was heavy. And I'm a heavy dude. There's an old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I did not feel any pain right away. But fast forward a couple of days, and holy hell, the pain was out of this world. The doctor and I, we concluded that this must be a inflamed bursa, if that's correctly pronounced. I have no idea. That's a little part that lies right underneath the collarbone here, which acts as a suspension lubricating thing. And I got a lot of painkillers and anti-inflammatory meds, and now we're like all set. So, full of pain medication, painkillers, and all kinds of weird stuff, I went into the forest on my way to try and capture that photo of that myriad of tree roots. But little did I know that I was there with a broken upper arm right here. The bone is severed right here. I had no idea. It was painful as hell, which you can see in some of the clips. But in my mind, this was just an inflammation, and the world isn't going to stop just because of that. But now I need to keep my arm very still and don't do any stupid shit like I did then. So, should we continue? I'm gonna find some more painkillers.
Well, I was really hoping that this would still be. Right now you might be wondering what the heck is going on. This is like the perfect example as how difficult vlogging sometimes can be.
When I got here, the conditions were as optimal as they could for the time being. The whole tree almost and the tree roots were lit up by the last rays of that sun, kind of the way that I wanted it to. When I came here, I had to make a choice. Should I start and try and record some footage of me walking up this steep slope here and like film some B-roll and then start out with the photography, or should I just jump straight into just grabbing the photo while I'm here so that I don't lose it? And I chose the latter, and I'm very glad that I did, because I would have lost this shot 100%.
I just have to get.
Okay. This is not going to plan. Oh, I'm in so much freaking pain. Oh my god, look at the sweat on my face. Okay, that's not too bad. The light is fairly decent. It's interesting. I'm so glad I made this decision to just take the picture before doing anything else, because I would have lost this and all the filming would have been like just for nothing. Oh, ow. Okay, so I'm just hand holding you here just to show you there were light up against this entire root system when I arrived, and that's not there anymore. Okay. Right now the only thing I could actually think about is that I feel that I have ruined this vlog by this part being so rushed. That's the only thing I can think about right now. So I'm like, really, my head is just working to kind of try and foresee how this might turn out. If this is going to be worth keeping or not, or if I should just continue trying to create something here or not. I have no idea. Right now, everything just feels like a total flop. I think it's just that I just really want this to work. I really wanted this to work. Before I left, I decided to have a little stroll around the area just to kind of decompress, and I was in so much pain. I was not in a very good mindset at the time, also, because I kind of felt like I had been rushing the whole thing, and I was in so much pain that I couldn't really get across what I was trying to get across. So I went over to this rock that I saw the first time I was there. It kind of stood out to me because it had absolutely no vegetation on it, no moss, no nothing. And I kind of wanted to see if I could try and get a photo of that. So I had a little walk around that rock a few times and kind of played around with a few compositions. And eventually I got away with a photo I thought was relatively nice. And I also wanted to do this because I'm not really sure what I think about that photo I took of that those tree roots. So, but sometimes you can't really see it that well until you get it up on the screen when you get home. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this weird adventure. And I hope the next time I see you, I won't be wearing this. And I want to thank you so much for coming back and watching my small adventures. And I hope you have enjoyed. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to check out my Instagram too if you have Instagram. It would be nice to have a easier way to communicate if you have something that you're wondering about or just want to talk about or whatever. Looking forward to see you. Thank you.